Bum, bum, bum.
It's time to tune in. We know got the stats and the info. Rockin' with Flim and B Bather. That's my kinfolk. We got everything you need and some more. Reporting live with the sports.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Roar.
Uproar.
Roar.
We are live. We are back.
Roar.
We are live. We are back. It's about to be a good one. Hey, it is Uproar Radio Show. We are back from our little hiatus, man, as we closing out, as we did all things tissue, football spring weekend. But again, we the boys, we are back on the show here to bring you all a little bit of this NFL draft. We're going to come from a different lens of what's available out there with, this HBCU talent. We're going to talk some of those guys. We're going to talk the John Merritt Classic and some things. So, heating up towards the promotions of that big game of having JSU back in Nashville, and then obviously we're going to cover this. It's not new news. We understood, if you're a Nashville, you understood that with this new stadium coming, that the Super Bowl is going to come in either 29 or 30, but it was officially announced that 2030 is going to be the year Nashville get the Super Bowl. So we're going to cover a lot of that stuff, man. But before we do anything else, please do us a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned in with the boys, man, as we're going to bring you some more stuff. We got some other shows to look out for it too on Your Time Network here coming up in the next month with some insights that we're going to bring you all as well too, man. But without further ado, man, Flim, Kurt, man, talk to me, man. How we feeling on this lovely Thursday?
Feeling good. It's that time of the year, my favorite time of the year. My birthday's around the corner. Drafts tonight. There's a lot of activity. Weather
Yeah.
warming up. Everybody's ready to get outside. So yeah, man, it's a wonderful time of the year.
Man, I'm out here in Arizona with a koozie sweater, man. So it's hot out here, big fella. So,
Oh man. Good deal, man. Shoot, man. Like I said, we're gonna start this off at the top of the show, man. NFL draft is kicking off pretty soon here. I think we're about 45 minutes out from the start of that. Raiders on the clock. But as I said here, man, one thing I really want to look into was just, some of this HBCU talent this year that looking like some pretty good draft eligible guys. Isaiah Williams out of Jackson State. He's a really good player, looking like he might be a day two potential option. That's what he's looking like for him. If not, well, I take it back. He has some first round upside. We'll see how that goes. But I think his real stock is more likely going to be somewhere around rounds 2 and 3 on tomorrow. Jalen Hines out of Alcorn. You got him coming up the rear as well too. 6'3", 245-pound guy. Doing what he does. He's a D tackle. Jalen Miller out of Bethune-Cookman. You got Kenyon Jackson out of North Carolina A&T. Zay Johnson out of Alabama State. I mean, Darius Harper from Hampton. Malik Taylor. So it's a few guys. We got to cover our own at Tennessee State. You got James Stewart. He's a day 2-3 projection. And then you got Kendrick Grimes, the running back, who's looking like a day 3 or more than likely undrafted roster potential on that spot there, man. So I'll say this, man, just from what we've looked at on this space right here, man. We got some guys that got draft stock, on each day. I think it's a good thing, because I think we had, from an HBCU perspective, it looked like it was low. It wasn't looking like it was clearly low these last few years on the prospects, man. So we got a good 10, 12 guys that really got some good shots to make NFL roster, man. So Flem, I'm past you. How we feeling so far, man, with just what we've seen so far with the HBCU space getting back to a good place of having draftable guys and not just some one-offs.
Yeah, so don't forget about Jaysean Watkins too, from Tennessee State, the 6'4" DB that's
Yes.
opportunity on day 3. But the last, ever since COVID, and NIL has kicked in, there's normally been, a player drafted from an HBCU before that time period. And Tennessee State University under Coach Rod Reed participated at a very high level. with kids getting drafted. Basically, we're on a streak from basically every year, for a 5 or 6 year stretch with linemen getting opportunities. But since the NIL and since after COVID, it's been kind of tough treading because we talk about resource a lot here on this program, and what NIL has put onto the map, has put a microscope on the lack of resource that HBCUs have. And so now you got schools like Jackson State with the 1400 Club that's doing an amazing job. That's why they're one of the top two teams in HBCU football. Shoot, they probably one of the top 10 team when it comes to FCS football completely. But they have a very strong fan base and NIL structure. So we got a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of work to do. We got some kids that are very talented. The thing is, when you get these kids on your campus, it's our jobs to develop and support them,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
developing and supporting has to do with nutrition, has to do with the backings of the things that people need to back, to grow and build their craft. So, uh, yeah,
Mhm.
hopefully these guys get a chance. I know the Jeremiah William kid from Jackson State, the D tackle, is a one man wrecking ball, and I'm pretty sure he'll get a chance. But we're just rooting
Yeah.
for those other guys you mentioned to get their names called.
Definitely, man. Definitely. On to you, Curtis. You know, what I mean, I know you're our basketball expert on this, but regardless, just when we're talking HBCU talent in general coming out, going into the major sports here in America, um, I'm glad, but give me your thoughts on it as well too, from what you're seeing from what was a downward spiral there for a little bit there, and just now see it look on the uptick.
Well, first I want to say I get to return the favor. These two gentlemen, Reno and Mr. Fleming, they've forgotten more football than I have. So we got to start there. But it's kind of the same thing that has happened in
Mhm.
basketball. That I see the trend is happening with HBCUs.
Mhm.
NIL has hurt us in a negative way, where if we get a great prospect who is playing well, we get rated by these bigger schools who can bring in and come in with NIL money in order to raid our stocks. Guys that we've taken and invested 2 or 3 years in, and then they leave the program and go off to a bigger conference. So you're seeing a lot of that happening now. That's why you're not seeing as many names coming out now, because guys are leaving for those NIL bags. We're not mad at them because, of course, they got to take care of their
Mhm.
family, secure their futures, but it does leave a sour taste in a lot of HBCUs because they're investing a lot of time, effort, and resources. Sometimes the smaller resources that it has in order for a kid to leave after a year or two. So you're
Yeah.
seeing a lot of that happening now. Like I said, the way that we can combat it is we have to put resources into our own programs. We got to support our own programs. We
Mhm.
can't say, "Hey, I had a bad experience at my alma mater, and I'm not gonna give back or do anything." We gotta support these
Mhm.
programs so that we can continue to see the success stories come out. We can't be at TSU still living in the '70s and the '80s talking
Mhm.
about Paul Jones and this, that, and the third. They were great players, but we
Yeah.
gotta see the legacy now.
Yeah. Agreed there, man. This is and Flem, you were hinting towards it. Well, not hinting, you were definitely walking towards it. And as that's where I sit on it from. It is collectively, um, having black colleges really think about, what they can do to keep their talent, right? We understand that it's going to take a lot of work to be able to offer financially what a group of five school can offer, and definitely what a power four school can offer. But what you can do is focus on, you know, thinking about the process of, like you said, Flim, the nutrition, being able to feed your student athletes the right way, replenishing them the right way, uh, for their sport, and then also the development of their bodies throughout the season. I mean, These bigger schools have some really good recovery tools. They have some really good preseason, in-season diagnostic tools that they access and monitor their student athletes' bodies as well too to stay on top of that, right? So for me, it is just to start to see the global of the HBCU sports space move towards that, man. Like I understand that there are definitely some other needs that I know that all these HBCUs have, but I would really have a make a strong argument of saying attack those two right there internally from what you have budgetary standpoint, and then push for your support base to get behind that as well too. Because if you can secure that, you could still secure and hold on to more of your talent longer. Because you can at least be able to do that, man. But you tell me, Flem, would you agree with that, or would you still say, regardless? I mean, at the end of the day, if it's a SEC school, a Big Ten school, and that player just balled out at a Jackson State or Tennessee State, it's still gonna be hard for him to say no. I don't know, but I still think that if you take care of those two things right there, you still got a really good shot to hold on to them a lot longer.
Yeah, that exactly right. And that's one of the things that we always, highlight on this show is that we have to do things with a more intentional displacement for what we're doing for our student and student athletes. They have to know they're number one. They have to get treated like they're number one. Now you can't eat, filet mignon every day at Tennessee State University, right? But
Mhm.
you can get fed well. And it's just like when
Yeah.
you go to Home Depot, everybody when you walk in Home Depot, everybody speaks and says hello, right? Makes you feel like they want you there. So some of those
Mhm.
attitudes that we discussed and how some of those feelings some of these kids get, even our own campus sometimes, don't feel that welcome. So it's the small things that you can make people feel more comfortable about because we understand the situation. Everybody can't have the creme of the creme, but what we do have, it can be just top notch. That feeling,
Yeah.
that camaraderie. You know, what's been really kind of disappointing for me the last 20 years is how HBCUs use the word for pretty much an excuse. You know,
Mm.
I'm talking about Brother Davis. You know,
Mhm.
well,
Mhm.
why we can't have X, Y, and Z? Well, we are HBCU. You be like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah.
it don't have
Mhm.
to be
They
that
turn
way.
into a
You know what
negative.
I mean?
It's definitely got turned into a negative.
Goodness, it's a thing that we can't do things systematically, or we can't do things, at a very high level just because we're at HBCU, and that's very, very disrespectful for me, right? My whole
Mhm.
family went to HBCU, so you're talking, 55 consecutive years on a row that we've been a part of HBCUs, and I've only been on the earth 49 years, so we take pride in HBCU culture. You know what I'm saying? And we don't throw it around. We take pride in Tennessee State University. That's why we're so passionate about it. So, it gets disappointing when, the front line folks, the student athletes who have to go out there and put a helmet on and risk their health and, try to develop their talent for a university when everybody's
Mhm.
not on board trying to make it the best experience possible. And you're seeing that in the yield when it comes to alumni giving because that's been downward because every kid that walks across the stage is going to have a story, right? When they graduate,
Yeah.
and that story is going to be in the back of their mind when they start getting that alumni information about giving back, and they're going to think about some of the things that happen, right? Positive or negative, and that's
Mhm.
going to be a deciding factor. So, yeah, we're just encouraging. Let's do things like not like it used to be done, but it was a lot of pride in taking care of each other, especially on the HBCU campus.
Yeah, definitely. Here, so I want a slight shift here. So as we're talking NFL draft, it's coming up in about 30 minutes here. As we talk about Flynn, we got potential who has first round upside. Isaiah Wiggs, the edge there. Correct me, he's an edge guy, right? He's edge.
Well,
He's not D tackle, right? He's edge. Or did he fluctuate for them? I think he fluctuated for
I'm
them at
trying.
Jackson State, right?
I'm trying to see if we're talking about the same kid. Because the kid I was talking about, and I was just looking it up, it was a Ward Zero. for Jackson State, and I
Mhm.
believe he was a defensive tackle. So his last name was Williams too. So I don't know if it's two or not. So that, I mean, we'll do some research on that. I mean, Jackson State's defensive line was so damn good last year. I mean,
Mhm.
they had blue chippers
Yeah.
all the way across the board, but definitely it was a couple of guys on that defense, specifically on that defensive line that definitely had NFL grade.
Yeah, you're talking about a
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
like Quincy Ivory, who
Mhm.
basically was came into school as a quarterback,
Yeah,
and they changed him over to defensive lineman, and
yeah,
man won
Mhm.
SWAC Defensive Player of the Year. So he's got
yeah.
some incredible talent and an incredible story. I mean, going from quarterback to D line, man, that's a shift, and the guy was able to
Yeah.
pull it off and then be the best defensive player in the conference. Man, hats off and kudos to him, man. That's an incredible accomplishment.
Oh yeah, but you know Jackson
Definitely is,
State has
definitely
been
is, man.
traditionally that doomsday defense, right? And that's one of the things that when TC Taylor, the current head coach of Jackson State, he really put a lot of traditional value
Mhm.
back into that program, and that's why you're seeing it thriving. You know, in his first few years as head coach, you know, winning. Majority. You know, he's won the East ever since he's the SWAC East, and just lost one game to Prairie View in the championship game last year. Would have been back at the Celebration Bowl. But man, that value, that tradition, that legacy history that he understands and knows, along with their athletic director. And so that's don't forget about their athletic director, because Ashley Robinson, because he's leading that whole program, and he's very very responsive and accountable to the Jackson Mississippi people. He's putting out an amazing product that people can get behind.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Other than that, I'll tell you another one that I'm hopeful for. I got a personal connection with him. Boogie Trotter, man. Boogie played with us at Tennessee State. Phenomenal player, DB, nickel guy. Uh, when he was with us, all he did was find that ball, man. That's all he did. He finds the ball. You know, like he just he it gets to him, right? He leaves and goes to Marshall and does the exact same thing.
Oh
So
yeah,
Boogie Trotter is another one that I know for a fact. I know they're gonna look at him. They're gonna say he's 5'7", he's 5'8". You know, I believe he's 5'8" and a half. Right? They're gonna say he's 5'8". You know, but I kid you not, man. He, he's 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 gonna make if he gets a shot to make especially on the drafted side. You know, I think he's going to make a roster because he's going to be good in special teams. He's going to be versatile for you in special teams. And if he ever gets a chance to play on that defensive side of the ball in that slot position in that nickel dime space, I promise you, he will get him one. That's what he does, man. Like so, I'm excited to see about where it turns out for him, man.
Hey, I saw a 5'8" guy who had an incredible NFL career. That guy called a honey badger. So it's not
Hmm.
like it's impossible. So hopefully he
Yeah,
gets a shot, at least get into camp and be able to show what he can do.
yeah, man. I
definitely,
remember
definitely, man.
Boogie quite vividly. He's a Nashville kid. Oh, I think he's a Pearl Cone kid, right, Reno?
That he is. That he is.
DC.
That
If
2024
he go,
season. Yeah, that 2024
re- re-
season. hmm No,
no,
that
no, go
20
ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that 2024 season, it's two people that I give the credit to. Well, I give high credit to for winning that OVC championship, and they're on both on different sides of the field. Of course, DJ Ellis, right? DJ Ellis was a phenomenal quarterback, had a phenomenal senior season, and was a catalyst on the offensive side of the ball. But arguably, Boogie Trotter on the defensive side of the ball that year was that MVP. I mean, the things he did. I told you that game, in Lindenwood.
Mhm,
I think he had a defensive touchdown or an interception or something. He had two big plays in that game. But the game that really stood out for me is when Semo came to Nashville and he just disrupted that game from the beginning of whistle. He was
mhm,
just dominant. I think they sent him on a cat blitz from the nickel spot, and he just basically decapitated that 6'6" quarterback from SEMO, and he
Yeah.
was all everything until that play. And the rest of that game, he did not play very well, and we won that game. So yeah, shouts out to Boogie Trotter, man, just a amazing football player. And if he gets a
Yeah.
chance to go, I mean, he's going to be somebody's nickel, and he is just
Yeah.
aggravated all the time on a football field. We'll play run, we'll stop the run, we'll support the run,
Mhm.
and it's going to be a gnat on somebody's back trying to run a route.
Mhm. 3 things. Boogie goes, that'll have Pearl Kong at, like, 9? 9 NFL players in the last we'll take it back, that'll have Pearl Kong at, like, 6 NFL players in the last 15 years or whatever, just from high school alone. The other thing is this, I was gonna highlight the Tennessee Tech game from that year. So, I think Boogie housed 2, or I know he housed 1 against Tech, and remember, we didn't score at all on offense that game. If
Exactly.
memory serves me correctly, we went up to Tech, we did not score at all on offense. And, you take away Boogie's INT pick 6, that game's lost. So
Well, we
so
lost
yeah,
that
man,
Tech game. We lost that Tech game. We hadn't beat Tech in
oh,
forever.
we did.
We lost
We
that
did,
Tech
we
game,
did, we sure
but it was
did,
the
we sure
limit. So
did,
he
yeah.
did and that game.
Yeah,
I
you're
do
right, you're right,
remember
you're right.
we had 0
Yeah.
yards rushing that game. That's why I remember that game. And I was just like, I don't think I've ever seen a Tennessee State team have 0 yards rushing.
0?
0.
0?
Big, big goose egg.
As in the number?
As in the number. It was the
Okay.
next week that we played Lindenwood, and we were struggling in
Yeah,
that
sure was.
game. And that game we won because of Boogie and some big plays he
Yeah,
had there. And that's what caught us the momentum to run off 5 or 6, And that's what changed that season around because Tech
yeah,
just did it to us real bad. And
yeah.
and we wasn't playing very good in Lindenwood, but it was Boogie. And I'm telling you, that
Mhm,
championship game in Nashville, SEMO against Tennessee State in Nissan Stadium for a chance for a share. Boogie Trotter came
mhm,
out the bus aggravated, and it showed. I mean, he
yeah.
was amazing.
And
Him,
he dropped 1 too.
so he dropped by 4. To be honest, the whole season he dropped by 3 or 4 pick sixes. I think he had 2
Yeah,
because he had
they
2
were pick
this year.
sixes that he dropped too, yeah.
Yeah, he had 2 this year at Marshall. He was tied for in the country for pick sixes. You know what I'm saying? I think he had 5 interceptions overall, a bunch of pass breakups and a couple of, pick sixes. But that 2024 season, he quite possibly could have had 5 pick sixes that year. Did he drop 3 of them? I mean, I'm just flat out dropped. But I mean, he's just his
Mhm,
instinct and speed and quickness. And when the ball goes up, it's his. Yeah, he just was an amazing player. It really hurt us to see him and McClendon leave because they really was
mhm,
sorely missed this year. But
mhm,
we glad those guys both went to FBF schools. McClendon going to Bowling Green and
yeah,
Boogie going to Marshall.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just
definitely.
just just a general question, as I know it's different for us on the basketball side, but what is the process like for a person who is a good enough player to enter into the NFL draft? What is that process like to not only get
Ooh,
the
yeah.
24, but
It
also what the different things that a HBCU would go through compared to what maybe someone from SEC or a
yeah.
bigger known conference is known for.
Give you 2
Well,
angles, Kurt.
mhm.
Um, because Dominique came in, we came in together, right? So Dominique had first round grade. He went 16 overall that year in 2008. 2008? Yeah, it was 2000. It was 2008 draft, correct? 2008 draft. He went 16 overall to the Cardinals. Um, for him, it was he goes to the combine and competes and goes through all the drills, does all the running tests, checks every single box. Boom, 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 right? But then he comes back to Nashville for the pro day with the rest of the squad there, and all he does was just some field drills, right? So for him, the process was how he trained for it. He trained down in Orlando with Tom Shaw and that
Hmm.
crew down there. But even then, Tom Shaw has at the time, I don't know if he still is like that, but Tom Shaw has a big NFL draft class every year. So you're talking about 30 some guys. But Tom is specifically only eyeballing those round one guys.
Gotcha.
He's all in on them. He has his staff to watch all the other ones, right? So that's how that was with him because Dominique was down there with him and Chris Johnson, came out same time. So it's like you're down there right there. And that's how it looked for him. And also his process was um, you know, at the combine, he interviews with half the league, I think it was. Interviewed with half the league. But then again, he comes back to Nashville. Sean Payton comes and works him out when he still had, I don't know if y'all remember Marcus Colston. So he
Yes.
guards Marcus Colston down there in the hole, right? And then after 4 routes, Payton was like, seen enough. We good to go. You know? So it's like if he would have fallen to the Saints, he probably would have went there, honestly. But yeah, man. So it just that comes out. The Patriots were definitely looking at him at number 7, but the Patriots needed a linebacker in a major way as well too. So that's when Belichick drafted Drio. So it was coming down to he knew he needed a corner and a linebacker, but he chose, the linebacker man. So that's how it looks. But on the other side, you got Levine, who came out the year 2 years later, right? Levine goes undrafted. All he had was the pro day that was held on campus at Tennessee State, and he runs phenomenal times, right? But he's still not getting enough buzz, man. And it takes some phone calls from people like a Randy Fuller, who was a great player at Tennessee State and still has plenty of NFL contacts, and calling some folks, hey man, just trust me, give him a shot, right? And he ends up getting that shot, man, with the Green Bay Packers, makes their roster. Shoot, his rookie year, they go to Super Bowl, beat the Steelers. So it just how that process looks for each person is different. You got the greatest side of it where everybody is calling you, wants to come visit you to have a conversation, and even like that with the Dominique as he's settling in on his agency, right? And he ends up going with Eugene Parker, who represented people like Deion Sanders, right? So you're feeling all of this stuff, right? But then you got Levine, who's basically out here waiting for that person just to believe in him, man. And so that's what it looks like on both those sides from those space. Flim, anything else you want to add on that I missed? Do you think that should be recognized?
Yeah, so that's a couple of things. We want to shout out to one of our followers down in Jackson, Mississippi, Mr. Eric Jackson. He's gone with the live chat and got us corrected. So it's Jeremiah Williams, okay,
Jeremiah
Jeremiah
Williams.
Williams, and Quincy Ivory. So Curtis had it right. I think we have Isaiah Williams somewhere. I think we got that miss right there, but it's Jeremiah
Yeah.
Williams. So we wanted to just straighten that out. Thank you, Newt. As you see that sign there, Reno. So let's move
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But the other thing
Go to the
is now
board.
this is what Deion Sanders or Coach Prime was talking about when he went to Jackson State after his first year, and he was getting his guys and his players who were draft eligible, ready, and he was talking to a lot of the scouts. So once you got what it used to be is that of course the A and B players on FBS, the FBS supposedly the A plus A or B plus players
Mhm.
are going to get an opportunity to get every chance. They're gonna get you got to get invited to the combine, right? You
Mhm.
just can't pull up to the combine,
Yep.
and all these
Right.
other opportunities. You have to basically be invited. That's when the relationships get in there, right? Um, it's hard for me to believe that the B player at an LBS school is going to be better than an A plus player at HBCU. Okay. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing that we have to try to bridge that gap. And that's why the relationship building at our universities and athletic departments are so important because we also have to be ambassadors for our kids to get opportunities to become professional, right? Because everybody's you
Mhm.
play sports, but everybody's going to be a professional. It might not be in a sport, right? It might not be in basketball and football, but those who have those type of relationships with talented kids that can walk in or make a phone call, like Reno says, get a kid a chance to get to the combine. I think a couple of these years, it hasn't been any kids from HBCUs invited to the combine, to the
Yeah.
NFL combine. You know what I mean? Like, come
Mhm.
on now. You know what I'm saying? We've been some amazing talent. And that's forcing them
Mhm.
kids to leave our programs and go to the FBS. So that's what leveling the playing field is on that. So you got to be present on all levels, and it has to be every day in this current climate because the competitiveness is at an all-time high. And there's big pockets, there are big relationships, there are big names that are pushing, opportunities for kids that might not be better than the kids we have on our campus currently.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
we don't have a we don't have a spokesperson or an ambassador to get those kids over the finish line, and that's really disappointing as well.
Yeah, man.
Oh, and
Um,
add to that, and I'll let you get to the next segment here, Reno. I'm not gonna hold it long. We also got to get back to the community side of it. Um, Quick story: after my freshman year, I had been recruited by Alabama, Auburn, coming out of high school. Both of them showed up at my doorstep after my freshman year. It was like, "Hey, we would love for
mhm,
you to go ahead and transfer." But my TSU mom is what kept me there because I was connected with the community. Um,
mhm,
TSU took care of me. It meant a lot to me that you know s- you didn't have anywhere to wash your clothes and you couldn't get a meal, and your TSU family will
mhm,
come pick you up on those Sundays and
Hmm.
take care of you,
mhm.
take you to church and show you how to be a man and wash your own clothes and be around a two household family, somebody I had never seen before. Those things I've cherished and
Mhm.
took for the rest of my life. We got to get back to that, and then also selling the HBCU experience, because if we're not going to do that, we're going to keep losing these kids to these bigger programs.
Yeah, man. That's it, man. I'll close it out by saying it is. I've told some family members this who are TSU folks. I said at the end of the day, when it comes to these student athletes, it's not right for us to expect them to go to a black college and they go visit these other schools, and these other schools can literally give them everything they need to perform at the highest level, and you come to enough black college situations that still have not found a way to put that thought process and that energy towards some of those things that make the student athlete experience, worth it for them to come and stay there, right? So that's the other thing. And then obviously I'll say this is that as we think about on a professional level, man, when you got Anthony Levine, who's a assistant special, well, it's not assistant, I'm sorry. He is special teams coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, man. So having people like that, and we got some other one of these spaces that are HBCU grads, man. Just I would they're in these spaces, and it just I would say just continually to lift those folks up, man, and once they get the opportunity to truly make to be the de facto decision maker in this stuff, like I know that they're going to be looking out, but it's just going to be on our institutions and those fan bases, those alumni bases, to make sure that we're showing them still at the end of the day, a quality person that they want to go after, right? So that's where we're on that. Yeah, man. So we'll keep this thing moving. As we
Hey,
talked
can you
about, we move
imagine?
into.
Oh,
Uh,
hey, Reno,
Go ahead.
can you
Yeah, go ahead.
imagine? We know Levine's going to be in the war room tonight. He's going to be in the war room all
Yeah,
3 nights, right? Because coordinators be in the
yeah,
war room when it's time to pick kids, right? You
yeah.
get to that fourth or fifth round, and you think Levine sees Boogie Trotter in there. You think he ain't getting ready to say a couple of words, and I'm just gonna leave it there because y'all know I'm a Baltimore fan. And, I'm
Hmm.
self. I think Boogie
Yeah.
got a chance to go on to the flock go.
Yeah, man. He got. I mean, he's. I know he's looking at all those kids every single time, man. And he's another one that will that just does that extra level of thought process care, especially when a black college player when he runs across one, man. So he does that, man. So that's what he does, man. But yeah, as I said, you were gone the week before last, Curtis, for a little bit there, man. When the news broke that men's basketball coach Nolan Smith got that contract extension, man. So we want to you know bring you on here, obviously, to hear your thoughts about, after year one getting a contract extension. I know he went ahead and signed a player not too long after that as well, too, man. But just talk to us about your thought process on him getting renewed and getting that thing fixed early right now. So what should that do? What should that mean for the program?
Well, it means stability. That's the first thing. We're very proud of the job that Coach Smith did this year. Not only coming in as a first time head coach, but being able to take this talent and take them to that next level. You saw the difference in the team this year, and nothing against Penny or anything like that. He did a great job while he was here. But Coach Smith, you could see the attention to detail. You also saw I call them the DC gang. All of the DC
Mhm.
guys he had on that roster who were professional players, and you could see that they put their imprint on this season. So you are happy for him. You know that he's able to get the extension. Hopefully, he was able to get some more money so he can also pay his assistants more, and then also have opportunity to go after some players. I know he signed a kid out of California. That's a really good kid that can play combo point two guard slot. So things are looking good. I know he has his roots deep in DC, so you're going to see a lot more DC kids that are going to be coming to TSU. Just to touch on the
Mhm.
tournament a little bit, we were very happy with the guys getting there. My analysis of that game was that we just came out and it seemed like we were just happy to be there. And
Mm.
kind of showed in the play because I really thought we had a great chance to win, especially when um, Jefferson not only got hurt early, but their point guard got 2 fouls early in the first 5 minutes. So we really had a chance to do something special there and just didn't take advantage of the opportunity. But we're still proud of the kids. They represented the university very well. And now it's up to Coach Smith to take this extension. He's going to have time to build this program into a top-notch program. We just got to support him and give him the resources that he needs in order to go out and recruit and be able to keep this kid and keep his kids and sustain this momentum that we got.
Mhm. Definitely, definitely, man. Shout out to him and the team as well. I know if you all didn't see it, they were recently recognized on Capitol Hill up there in downtown Nashville with our political leadership there, man. So they recognize all of them up there for a season well done, man, by them, man. So again, looking forward to them and seeing the evolution of this and this not being just a one off, which is also good for AD Allen to make sure that this doesn't turn in just to a one off, and he's on to the next one, right? You know, I've said this about uh, Tennessee State, but just any black colleges. Like once you get good, man, you know, it is very important that your processes are in place to where if that person gets an opportunity that they just want at another spot, right? And they were very successful, on your school, but you got to make sure that you still got everything else in place to make sure that when that new person comes in, there's no drop off, right? You don't
Mm.
want to start from ground zero on how you support them and all the things that make a program successful, right? That you go off there and find you a good coach. Right, he should be able to step into a system that allows him to go out there and continue to maintain the financial support and the crowd support that they get, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, man. Like I said, they in a real good spot to really get it done.
Flem said something that was very key, and that's one of the reasons he's still here. He said it on numerous occasions, and we just got to give you credit for it. Coach Smith hasn't recruited anyone. That's
Hmm.
why he's probably not at another university right now because they're going to look at this as a one-off. He's got to show that he
Hmm.
can get down in the trenches and get out there and recruit and build a program and make this because he has an opportunity here for this whole program to get his foundations in and then be able to build this and make a name off of this program here because um, we got John Merritt, we got Coach Allen, and who else is in our pipeline that we talk about when we talk about
Yeah,
coaches here. He could be that
yeah.
next one. So he
Hmm.
has a great opportunity here, but it's going to be a tough task because he's going to lose 5 starters. We're not talking about
Hmm.
1, 2, even 3. We're talking about 5, and you also
Yeah.
lose some of those key people off the bench as well. So this is going to be a total rebuild, and people are going to have to be patient with him. Still think we're going to be strong next year, but we're going to have to be patient with him and also give him time and the resources in order for him to build his program to where we want it to go.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, man. Like I said, as we keep this thing rolling. In recent news, there were some reports out there we saw from both sides of as we transition into this John Merritt Classic. Man, you had all the alumni bases announcing their where they're going to set up shop once they get here for this John Merritt Classic of Tennessee State, Jackson State. So Flim, I know you're definitely into the trenches from your hometown down there in Jackson, Mississippi, man. But just talk to us about if what's new, or if not, what's still consistent from the folks down there, man. Of they still talking the Tennessee takeover.
So yeah, man. I sent you some information, and a couple of guys watching us now are in Jackson, Mississippi right now, and those folks are fired up to come to Nashville. Um, their alumni association, which is a big association just like ours, but they got their
Mhm.
information out about a month ago. They're gonna be down at the Grand Hyatt. That's their host hotel when they come to Nashville.
It's a good one.
And
That's a good
so,
one.
and man, good country Mississippi folks, city folk, whatever y'all want to call us. But I told you
Hey.
they're gonna put 100 back on every check coming, and they're gonna come up here and show up and show out. And I'm
Hey.
the guy, in my little on my little Southwest app, I got me a flight held. You know what I'm saying? Like for the 28th. You know what I'm saying? That I might just
Mhm.
go somewhere if our university doesn't pick it up. Because if we go out here and let them folks embarrass us, man, I'm not gonna never get a chance to live this down. And it's quite possibly that they have 20,000 folks here in Nashville. They're gonna be in the middle of Broadway, Grand Hyatt, right?
Hey,
And
I ain't gonna lie to you, Flim. I ain't gonna lie to you, Flim. I actually hope they do take over Broadway, just because
no, they're gonna take it over.
let let Broadway see a little something different down there, man. You know what I'm saying? Let them see a little something different down there. Let them do their thing, man. Shoot, go ahead, live it up, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, for the folks listening in, you go to Broadway, go to Whiskey Row, go to I'd say go to Luke Bryant's. I say go to Jelly Rolls. Go to all
Go
these
to
kind of
Snoop
places right there.
Dogg's.
Yeah, they got 5 levels. You got your live band on the first floor, right? You got all your live band country music, some soft rock on the first floor. After that, once you move up, it's all hip hop, pop, rap, R&B, all up there, man. So shoot, go do your thing, man. Go do your thing, man.
So,
I'm happy to see
so
it.
So they at the Grand Hyatt, Curtis, right? All right.
Yes,
So you
sir.
already know what they getting ready to get down. And they
Hmm.
and that came out about a month ago. And then I was talking to Bather, and he said, Flim, where do we have a host hotel? And then like last week, we at the damn Lowe's.
It's always, hey
I said,
man,
man, I said,
we've been
I
loyal
said,
to the
man, come
Lowe's,
on,
man.
man. We're not gonna let these people come up here and do this, Curtis, man. You're not gonna stick
Right.
us over there at the Lowe's Vanderbilt, bro. For
Man,
real?
look here.
Oh,
That's what.
God.
Come on, come on, Flim. You know that we've been loyal to them for a long time.
Man,
that's just where we
sometimes,
go, man. Yeah,
come
Man,
on, man. They can't be
you're
in the
right. I
Grand
mean,
Hyatt.
man, we in the lows in walking distance of the Krispy Kreme, man. Ain't nobody got time for this mess, man.
Hey, man,
Keep
yeah,
how you
keep
gonna,
downtown where the action is, man. Come on.
party
hey,
at the
Mm.
Lowe's, man? You gonna get a banquet room? They ain't got no
man,
rooftop. I was like, oh,
yeah,
God.
man.
I said, man, they
Oh
about to make
man.
me
I
the
said,
button. I get out of
hey,
here in a heartbeat.
I'm gonna call my
Mm-mm.
good friend. I'm gonna call
Hey,
my good friend, Miss Debbie
hey,
Howe. I'm say, Debbie, is there any way you can make this switch to the Westin or the
Man,
JW
you about to
Marriott?
hey,
You
so,
hey,
know,
Flynn about to get the event planner for the Lowe's fired over here, man. About to take all the folks
no,
in.
I'm just saying. I mean, the Lowe's is nice. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong. But dude,
It
they
is. It
can't
is.
be.
It's just not the Grand. It's just not the Grand Hyatt.
He can't be
It's
down
not
at
the
the Grand
Westin.
Hyatt, man. And we
Yeah.
like, hey man, where y'all going to the Lowe's?
Mm,
Oh,
man.
Like, like, and no lie, like the Grand Hyatt's rooftop is phenomenal. The
Mm,
Weston's rooftop is phenomenal. I'd say the Virgin Hotel is another one. With it get all those the Cambria is another one. The One Hotel,
No,
mm,
the
you guys
Omni.
are you guys are naming all this stuff, but people do not understand how
Yeah,
infrastructure has changed this town of Nashville.
yeah,
I
I'm trying
remember
to
back
tell
when
you.
we came in town, we were happy to be at the Lowe's just to have a hotel. You weren't trying to be
yeah,
anywhere near downtown, and now
yeah,
if you're not downtown, then you're not
yeah.
here.
It's
It's
rough.
it's just what it
It is
is.
rough, boy.
We're
It's
gonna
gonna be
have to make some
it
changes.
is rough. Heck
Mm,
yeah,
You
man.
know,
We're gonna get it in,
that's
man.
the
So
fear
yeah,
I
man.
was talking about, Curtis. That was the fear. You know, we talked about it when we made the announcement. We did the first show, the not the Southern Heritage Classic. We had over 700 views. A lot of them were Jackson State folks, and I was pleading with my school and administration then. You cannot take this system down lightly, this opportunity lightly.
mhm.
Because if you do it like you've been doing it, they're going to embarrass us. Okay? It's going to be an embarrassment situation. And we've already had a couple of embarrassing situations when North Dakota State came up here last year. That was embarrassing, right? They outnumbered us, what, 10 to 1, Reno? 8 to 1?
It
What'd you
was
say?
it was somewhere around there. It's
It
probably
was
somewhere around
big.
there because I know they had us. I know they had us numbers wise.
Y'all talking Jackson State, which you should. I'm more concerned about them HU folks because them folks from DC, they are going to travel. They are going to
Yeah.
be here, and we
Yeah.
can't be
Who we play?
embarrassed. We
Who
can't.
you talking
We
about?
hey hey we can't take this stuff lying down because they gonna roll. They gonna be here.
You talking about?
I just left DC. Know what they talking about? Homecoming. That's what they talking about. So
Mm.
we got to get ready for this thing, man, because them boys up there at Howard, they gonna bring their people down here. So we got to get
No,
ready.
that was
That was
we
last
already
year.
played them already. We
Yeah,
got that was
we
last year.
beat them
We
last
got
Hey,
year.
Morgan
last year,
State.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
we got Morgan City
yeah.
coming
And they
down.
had a nice crowd. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
North Carolina A&T had a nice crowd. A&M had a nice crowd. We played Morgan State for homecoming this year. Uh,
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
going to be a first time in probably 40 plus years since we played Morgan State. I mean, we used to play
yeah,
them a
it's gonna be
lot
a
when we
minute.
were independent. Um, but
Mhm,
nothing matters,
hmm
Curtis.
No.
But
It's it's
Jackson State, it's that's the game. It's the first game, right? It's the first
mhm.
game, and we was able to get some momentum with the first game last year. Because we beat A&T the first game, and that was a great atmosphere. Everybody had, great time. Man, you cannot let them folks come up here and start. And then the next week we go to Georgia.
Yeah.
So, it's a lot of things, and we just got a whole, whole serve, you know, for this thing because we have the people in town and around Nashville, and in Tennessee that can put a good 10 to 15,000 people in the stands on our side. We can do it,
Mhm.
now,
but we
now so
can't. Yeah,
so
but we can't
so
do it like we've been doing it. Know what I'm saying? This
now,
gonna have to be some ground, some heavy campaigning, radio, billboards, giveaways, contests, campaigns to get 15. We got to get 15 in the stadium
now
for us.
explain and not to stay on this because I know you got another segment, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
explain because see I'm a Florida boy now.
Okay.
I rarely, I travel all the time with business and everything else, and I rarely, especially because conference season is huge during football season, so I rarely get to come back. How has this infrastructure changed everything when it comes to TSU and football season?
Well, we've seen a drastic
Mhm,
decline in interest and attendance on game day,
Hmm.
especially for conference foes. We gained some momentum the last couple of years by playing some HBCUs and of course homecoming, and we've been playing. We got HBCUs for homecoming the last couple of years now. So what I'm talking about is when Tennessee State plays at home, if it's not a classic or if it's not homecoming, nobody in the city knows that we have a home game. Nobody knows we're playing because we just don't
mhm.
market or promote the games very well, right?
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying now. We got to leverage and promote and market and secure 15,000 folks on the home side of the stadium because Jackson State is going to bring 20,000 on the visitor side of the stadium because they are licking their chops to come to Nashville. If you look at their schedule, I mean, Nashville is going to be probably one of the top destinations they go to, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mhm.
throughout the season. You know, I don't know if they go to I don't think they play Texas Southern, which Houston. I don't think they play Prairie View, which is Dallas. So, you know, Nashville is going to be a big destination game. They played in Vegas last year and they took 20,000 out there, you know. So, Nashville is the destination game. You know, every season, every schedule has one game that everybody circles when it comes to
Mhm.
travel, and this is going to be a game they have circled for travel. And I'm
Okay.
just saying, I
Yeah.
want our folks to understand that and make sure we rally the troops so we can have the bottom bowls filled, and we're not outnumbered by Jackson State fans. You know what I'm saying? Because we've had a couple of
Yeah.
games over the last few years where the opposing team had us outnumbered by a lot of fans, and it didn't feel
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Now, Reno, you the
Uh,
marketing guy. What can they do
mhm.
different to market these games? I mean, this Jackson State game is going to be um, something that people should be wanting to lick their chops to come out and see. How can we market it
Yeah.
different? Make sure we get those crowds we're supposed to get.
It is to me. I think you just need to overload our fan base with it. So from every touch point, from um, what you're doing on social media, what you're doing through email campaign, um, those things are highly important, and also leveraging alumni networks. Okay, how many have signed up for the host hotel, and who's all coming in, and all that kind of stuff right there. From um, where it's just to me leverage because it's John Mayer Classic. I would bring in football alumni to do some social media video posts. That you curate talking about Coach Mayer, but also just talking about this game as a whole, and then them being in Nashville. So I would just play that up so much from that standpoint. Just and this is stuff that you just plan out and you just start to have, okay, let's record this, let me get you recorded and talk about this, and let's do this from that standpoint. And then you just drop it. Then every time you do it, you have a video, you have a link that says ticket here, boom, every single time. Like that's what I would do when I'm sending out emails to folks from the ticket office, that's purchased season tickets. you know, Same thing. You got to do pattern interruptions on this stuff, so it just can't always be a text. Again, use video in these emails. A 20-second video, perfect, cool. Like switch up the pattern on this, whatever. Get some hard commitments from these alumni groups and where they are on this stuff. But to me, like the blitz has to be on. Like you have to blitz the fan base with this, man, on this front right here, man. So
Hey,
giving them the hype of it, right? Just give them the hype of it. And again, it has to be something that is at minimum 3 days a week and touch points from your social media platforms to your email platforms, and also through your website. You got a great website as well too. Just all those touch points, constant, constant, constant. I mean, got to find a way to figure it out.
well, I see it different. I see it much different for this game. I'm not leveraging just alumni on this game. You have a model that you was a part of for basically 30 years, and that's the Southern Heritage Classic. Okay. Fred Jones made sure everybody that was in a 50-mile radius of Memphis knew that that game was being played. The Southern Heritage Classic. He pumped that on the radio, all outlets. There were midnight commercials, etc. So you're gonna need more than them Tennessee State people to help fill this game. You can't look at it as a Tennessee State home game. That's why the Classic has continued to go down. It has to be a classic game for Nashville, for
Agreed. Agreed.
Nashvilleians, for Middle Tennesseans. So you have to go to 10.21, 92.1, 101, 104.5, and you got to have a presence there, whether it's a midnight commercial or you got to get these partners, these radio outlets, and get some ticket giveaways and have some broadcasters. And the classic, this is the only classic in Nashville, the only one.
Mhm.
And
There's no other classic in Nashville, nowhere. So you have
you're
to look at it like it's the state fair. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It
and
has to be
you're right when you're saying that, because the other thing that we got to do, we got to get celebrity interest into this game as well, and help them use their social media platforms and everything else to help sell this as an event. It can't just be a football game. We got to
right.
sell the event, around all the parties, all of the events and stuff that's going to happen on Friday before the game, Saturday after the game, the Saturday morning before the game. We got to do all that, and then also, bring in, your local restaurants and things of that nature, and help them develop, whether it's coupons or discounts or things, so that people can flood those areas and stuff like that. Those are things we got to start doing in order to make this an event and not just a football game.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend I did a festival called the Tri-Fest in Henderson, Kentucky. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for the whole community, and they just not promoting just one thing there, or one
Mhm.
background, or one race or ethnicity. It's for everybody.
Yep.
So that being said, this classic is a Nashville event. And that's why they have to approach it. They got to stop approaching things like it's a Tennessee State event.
Mm,
Yeah, we hosting it. It's our event, but it's for everybody. It's the John Merritt Classic. You know what I mean? And they got to think bigger and inclusive to
yep.
anyone who resides in the area. And that's what I'm saying. It can't be, you know, it can't be like it's been, because
Yeah.
you're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
miss out. This can be a huge event. You have an opponent that brings a lot of interest. They're gonna bring a lot of people. This is your chance to really blow this out. And if people have a great time, the service as well, then you can carry our momentums for the rest of the home games for the rest of the year. You know what I'm saying? And then now the classic, everybody's looking forward to the John Merritt Classic in the city, not just at TSU.
Mm, yeah, you like to say partner with airlines so that, hey, they're giving discounts. They're not only the marquee sponsor, but at the same time, hey, you coming in from Chicago, you coming in from DC, you coming in from the West Coast. You can
Hmm.
fly whichever airline it is, and you're gonna get a 20% discount, whatever it is. But
Hmm.
you got to tie all of that stuff in. But
Yeah,
um, biggest thing is that we have a we have an event that we can really sell.
yeah,
Um, Not now you're gonna make me um, tell one of these clients I'm not gonna be able to make their conference this year, so I can make sure I get to this game this year, because
yeah.
I really want to be a part of it. I tell you how big it is because I'm there in Orlando when you're talking about um, the classic between FAMU,
And Bethune.
there, and Bethune.
Hmm.
They're getting 80 to 100,000 in that stadium.
Absolutely. The Florida Classic.
Florida class, they're getting it in there every year because they make it an event. You're gonna
Hmm.
have the Battle of the Bands on Friday, and they're gonna sell out the Kia Center there in Orlando. Let's do a Battle of the Bands. Let's sell out the arena downtown,
Yep.
and let's do those type of things so you can have those type of events. So hopefully they'll see what we're talking about here, be hopefully be able to implement this, because we definitely need to move this thing forward and build this so that the following year it can get bigger and bigger.
Well, absolutely. So I'm going to take over as host. It looked like we might have some technical difficulties with Reno and his broadcast. And, it's towards the end of the show. And, we're just glad to be back on the air. And, over the break or so, we're going to share this a little bit because we talked about it on our last show. But, we have to congratulate the Thompson family of the third edition. Um,
Amen.
I, I call them the X-Men. Okay, trilogy. A healthy baby boy that was birthed a couple of weeks back. So we're really excited for the Thompson family and for all the things that they have in store with the three X-Men. That they're totally excited. Got another nephew, and
Yes, sir.
man, we just glad we got some things coming up. With some separate shows, I'll unlaunch the Derek After Dark series where we're having a little fluff time before camp comes.
Yep.
So we'll do some things there. I got some great insider interviews with some people that were very instrumental in Tennessee State's history, and that story needs to be told as well. So I just shared with our listeners. We congratulated you and the family on the addition of the third. I call it the trilogy of the X
Mhm.
Men.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. He's Zayden, young Zayden, man. Xaden, man. Young Zayden, man. So
Like
excited.
that. Like
Uh
that. Like that.
Well, my
excited,
son
excited.
name is Aiden, so
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So excited about that, man. Sorry about those technical difficulties. Like I said, I think I had too much going on from the operation setup I got
Hey,
going
hey,
right
hey, you
here.
you you
So
you you can tell us Zayden was back there punching them buttons, man. It's all right.
heck yeah, man. So yeah, that's what it was, man. But as Flim said, but you know, I don't know if you highlight this as well too. You talked about you're going to have your version of a spinoff as well too to cover some storytelling, and I'm definitely got in production a show that was honestly the original show that was supposed to be the flagship show was supposed to launch, your time network, Legends Unleashed, where just hearing a good understanding of some of these former players from Tennessee State and how it's going to expand beyond that. So that is in the middle stages of production on that as well too, man. And more stuff to come from the website that's under production. Yes, I'm fresh on the air right now. There is a Your Time web page that's going to be built, that's going to house so much more insights from the media standpoint, man, and some things they're going to cover as well too. So be on the lookout for all of that stuff, man. And we're gonna get this thing going, man. But like I said, it's 7:13. I know this draft is already locked in. Has the first pick went in yet, Flim?
I'm about to flip over now. I was watching the Hawks and the Knicks, but I had nothing kind of gone across
Hey, hey, hey,
my.
hey, give me an update on that game while you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Atlanta was beating them pretty good, and they're up by 8 at halftime. It looks like the Hawks. So,
Yeah.
but the Hawks dominated the first half. The Knicks went on a 12-2 run to end the second half. They bring them back into the game, but yeah, it's been a tough one for the Knicks. They can't score. I only got 50 points at halftime.
Well, yeah, I got to stop in San Antonio, see how Wimby doing over there, man. Y'all done concussed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Definitely, definitely,
the way
man. Well,
Wimby
like I said,
fell made me think somebody had shot him. Because I know where in the world I'm going to fall hit my face like that. And he 7'5". You know how long it takes to
yeah.
fall and not
yes.
be able to catch yourself
Uh-huh.
at 7'5". I mean,
The-
I'm
the-
5'11".
My
I ain't
goodness.
getting ready to hit my doggone face like that. I don't know what he was doing.
no,
They
no.
need
The
Yeah.
crazy part of all Holiday did was just pull the chair on him. Didn't touch
yeah.
him. Didn't do
Yeah.
anything. He just pulled the chair on him, and
Hmm.
he was looking for a body to make contact with, and didn't find one. So it
Goodness
was
Yeah,
an ugly
gracious.
boy.
fall. But hey,
Oh
hopefully
yeah,
he'll be
man.
back in the series.
Definitely, man. Well, look here, man. Again, thank you all for the shout out there. Well wishes on the fam, and like I said, we're gonna get up on this draft, see what's going on. See whose picks that we think are gonna bomb, or who's gonna get it done right. If it's one thing I know for sure, man, them Cowboys gonna find a way to steal jacket, man. So shout out to the Cowboy fans out there, man.
Amen. Amen.
I'm not a
Amen.
Cowboy hater, but I am a Cowboy
Amen.
troller. I
Amen.
love trolling y'all.
Amen. I hate the Cowboys. Don't do that. Hate every last one of them. Hate every last one of them. Bombs.
Hey,
Nobody hate that.
yeah, man. They gonna find a way to jack it up, boy. They gonna find a way, man. No,
Hey, man.
man.
Hey,
That's
I'm
it,
not.
man, from us, man.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish up. Finish up.
No,
Finish
no,
up.
no. I'm not the biggest Stephen A. fan in the world, but one thing I will say about him, man, them Dallas Cowboys, yeah, them Dallas Cowboys fans are the worst fans in the world, man. Trust me.
It's all
That
right.
they are. That they are. Look,
I
hey
want
man,
somebody to
it's
be
Uproar
crazy
Radio
about me
Show.
like that too.
It is.